I am gonna play with these today. It's the one that I'm missing from the Excalibur thing that we did. So, I mean, to be honest, this is gone. Khan Academy, I'm probably not. I mean, I should still give it a go. I should still do Khan Academy. I should do still brilliant. I mean, this I did BS. YouTube alone. I can. Yeah, I actually can. I'll try to follow the Karpathy videos. That will be another actually. Um, this will take a while though. Then Open Lessons Academy. I mean, it's fine. We did Notebook LM, so that's gonna be green. Can I turn it green? We did Brilliant.org. We did Duolingo. This is all such a yeah. We did Wondering as well. Um, and then this Eureka Labs doesn't exist yet, and we're doing Khan Academy now today. Okay, so we'll get started with these. Again, it's part of like a bit of a some work on like testing different learning tools out there in general, just to get a feel of like what's in the industry as well, and just different learning experiences. But let's put it this way: Math Academy seems to be very, and this is €50, $50 a month. Okay, now this seems to be very. It's all very much geared towards like actually studying like the official curricula or curriculum of like whatever is sort of math, right? I mean, it's based on, as far as I know, it's based on the mastery concept, where the idea is you have a tree of prerequisites of topics, and the idea is that you should not advance to the next topic unless you've fulfilled all the prerequisites, or you kind of have passed the whatever the score they use for the prerequisites. My only take so far against this kind of methodology is that I have the feeling, it's my only critique, is that you're essentially just optimizing for the test, right? But again, it just, I think in the right context that probably works. Like, you're just trying to go through university, you're just trying to go through like some of the specific educational programs that you just need to go through. I think uh these adds a layer of also consistency on top, because you're paying for it. It's kind of like paying for the gym, right? Um, but I don't know. I think the problem I have is that I don't know if I messed up something, because I did try a while ago. Then I paused the subscription. Then I didn't even try. I subscribed. I paused the subscription. Then I reactivated it again. And now I'm stuck at these mathematics for machine learning somehow here, because when I go to learn, it asks me to take the diagnostic, but only for these course. But it's, I guess, because I've selected these as the one that I want to do. I guess if I would just choose something else, it would make me do something else. And to be honest, I've always wanted to learn more about differential equations. I'm just like trying to think about like to pick something interesting. Discrete mathematics, differential equations, mathematical methods for the physical sciences. Nothing from here. So university level methods of proof, differential equations, discrete mathematics, um, probability and statistics, and mathematics for machine learning. That's gonna be just, I'm afraid that's gonna be mathematics for machine learning. It's fine, let's do these. I mean, that might be interesting, right? But I just have no idea. And so then you can pick like whether in test preparation, whether they have an end date or not. It's all right. I have no idea. Now, I only have 25 minutes more from now. So I don't know if that's enough to finish this placement thing. And to be honest, I have no idea what to expect. My math is very rusty. This is totally unprepared, right? So you know the style of my videos, right? So it's basically, I'm gonna get stuck. I don't know. I have pen, paper, whatever, calculators. I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. But I guess this is something you have to take at the beginning, because it essentially go like so. It says when you click start, it says the response time is factored into the scoring, but don't rush. It's more important that you answer correctly, that you understand. And if you can take a break in between questions, each question is timed independently. And exiting a question before answering it will result in the question being marked as incorrect. If you don't know how to answer a question, click the don't know button. Guessing will only make the results less accurate. Expect to get the wrong answers. It's not a performance test. And a scientific calculator may be required in some questions. And I don't have one here now at hand, but it's fine. I guess we can just use the computer or whatever. I don't know. Let's start. I don't know how many questions there is. I don't know if I will know everything, but let's get started. So which of the following statements are true regarding the function f(x) equals square root of 2? The point 0, 0 lies on this graph, the domain and the graph of f(x) lies in the fourth quadrant. I mean, am I allowed to use like a math visualization or whatever? Like the point 0, 0 lies on the graph. So f of x square root of x. I would like to just plot it because I don't have it on the I don't have any calculator, whatever. What's the math plotter thing? Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Maybe I can't use Desmos. Can I use Desmos? Basically. Yeah. So the point 0, 0 lies in the graph of y. I don't even know what that means. The point 0, 0 lies on the graph of y equals fx. Oh, I mean, I guess it just that exists. The square root of 0. That's what it means, right? I guess the domain of fx is it's not, that's not true. The graph of fx lies in the fourth quadrant. You see, I mean, what is the fourth quadrant? That's this quadrant, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say these. Correct. Yeah. Okay. Next. All right, question 2. So the figure above. Oh, there's a lot of questions, guys. I don't think. Let's see how far we can we get. The figure above shows the graph for a function, and it's asking us to evaluate the limit of 9 is 9 times f of x when x approaches 1. So what is this notation? Limit 9. When x is 1. And I guess that's just because fx equals 1, then this is essentially when x approaches 1. It's right here, so that's almost 2. So 9 times 2 is 18. Yeah. Okay. A calculator is required to answer this question. Given an arithmetic sequence that has A413 and A841, what is the index of the term 90? A90. Okay, so I guess then you can just translate that as a function where you just have the point 4 is 13. I'm just doing a bit of paperwork. So essentially, if you think of these as like x being the sub-index, then we know that f of 4 is 13 and f of 8 is 41. So we can just extrapolate, right? We can just like basically draw that on a line. So essentially, we've got the points 4 and 13, and we've got the point here 8, 41, and it's asking what's the term what's the term 90, right? What's the term? What's the thing for 90? So essentially what we have to do is kind of like, I don't know if you can see that, right? Can you see that? Yeah, so basically just calculate what the, you know, sort of what that inclination would be for that straight line, and that gives us then what the function of f of x and y, right? This is 41 actually, exactly. So if essentially, what do we have? We have these. So yeah, or basically just saying, it's actually easier because it's just, I guess it's just saying if the x is like, when x is 4, then y is 13. If we're doubling x, right? So if we're doing 2x, I'm trying to make it a bit more intuitive, then essentially is oh wait, but those answers make no sense at all. Given an arithmetic sequence that has a4 equals 13 and a8 equals 91. What is the index of the term 90? Sorry guys, of the term 90. So essentially I just need to do what is 41 divided by 13? So do I have a calculator here? Do I just use my phone real quick? Why do I even have my phone here? I read this wrong, the wrong way. So what is 41 divided by 13 is 3.15. Is basically when you have 2x. And so here, what is the term of the index when you have 90? So I guess 90 divided by 41 is 2.19. Exactly. And so essentially here, if we're doing, so we're doing this times this equals that times that. And so if I'm basically moving these guys, or I could do it intuitively. It's like almost twice 90. So essentially when we're doing 2x, then we're getting basically 315. And so if I do 90 divided by 13 is 692. So how many this. Yeah, exactly. The common difference. Yep. All right, so next, the graph above shows y equals k. So y equals k times 10 to the power of x plus c. Determine this, like, the problem is, I'm definitely not going to finish these because I only have 10 more minutes. But okay, it's good. I'm going to try to find time to finish it, but I'm going to do as many as I can in the next 10 minutes. So the graph above shows y equals k times 10 to the power of x plus c. Determine the values of k and c and find the equation of the curve. Determine the values of k and c and determine the values of the curve. So we know that it never goes, so we know that it does not it never reaches y minus 3. So this means that if it never reaches minus 3 for what does it mean? If it never reaches y minus 3, so for it cannot, like, interesting. For so this means I'm inclined intuitively to say that it's d because it has a fraction, because nothing else would work, because to be honest, like oh well, yeah, I mean, a negative exponent makes that like makes that like an inverse, right? So you know, let's say, can I switch scientific mode? How do I switch on Android? I cannot switch. Oh yeah, here. I guess. Yeah, so 10 to the power of. So negative powers are always going to be positive numbers that are very, very small, because it would be like 1 divided by whatever the power of 10 is. So this means that we will ever get close to 3, to minus 3. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be this one, to be honest. Because it's, and then obviously 0. Oh wait, no, it's got to be this one, because obviously 0 is basically an exponent to 0 is 1, and 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is the one that actually, I think so. It's going to be this one. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be this one. Cool. Question 5. The graph represents the function a divided by x minus b plus k. What is the value of a plus b plus k? What? Wait. The function. Okay, so we've got here information about limits, right? So we know. So k, right? Y is 1. This means that actually nothing ever reaches 1. So I think that k must be 1, because that just makes it neat initially. Oh, that's one possibility, right? So there's always 1, but then it never reaches 1. Oh, sorry, that's an x limit, actually. K should be 2, actually. And a and b, a and b, what's the value of a plus b plus k? So A plus B must have, what shape must it have? Let's think about these out loud, okay? So what relationships can we think of in terms of A and B that A and B can have? I mean, I could also reverse engineer it, as in like they don't ask me for the specific values, but for example, if A and B would be like both 1, so we would do 1 plus, so 1 plus 1 plus 2, no, that's not possible. Obviously none of this can be 0. Well, B could be 0, and then essentially 1 divided by x, or whatever number divided by x, would make it like I'm unless there's for me a way that I can actually derivate that by just not thinking intuitively, but by just trying to isolate. Let me just do some. I'm just writing on a piece of paper, right? So we have y equals a divided by x minus b plus k. So if we move the k to the other side, then now we have x minus b, and then we move that there, and we have x minus b times y minus k equals a, right? So we know that y is never 2, right? That's what we know. Y is never 2, and that's going to be the, oh, sorry, what did I do? Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Y is never 2. And x never reaches 1. Oh, maybe, oh, yeah, I think I can basically know, yeah, I can just play with limits. Actually, I'm stupid. I can just basically say that we know that, so essentially we know that when x approximates 1, then the limit is essentially infinite, right? When x approaches 1. So it could also be right. I could just say that at the limit, we know that when x gets closer to 1, at the limit of this function, f of x or y, we're talking like an infinite. So I'm kind of thinking whether b would be 1, because I'm kind of thinking, but it's just not defined, right? Like a division by 0 is not an infinite, but not defined. But it could just be a way to think about these, no? And then when we can also think of when the limit of when y approaches 2, then essentially x is infinite. So I think k must be 2. How do I even approach this problem? Actually, I'm not even sure I'm approaching this well. I'm thinking from a tools perspective, I would use the limits. I'm trying to think intuitively, and I'm just thinking like, okay, so you know, k could be 2 because it's a factor that we know we never reach. And then this means that if k is 2, right, this means that this factor for any given x, it doesn't matter what x you put in here, for any given x, we know that this is always going to end up being a very small fraction for any given x. So, but it's never going to be like, no matter what x I put in here, it's going to be a small fraction, and that's fine. For big x's, then the x already causes that. For small and big x's already causes that. But when x is 0, for example, right? When x is 0, then we do have a negative value here. So when x is 0, we do have a negative. Oh, wait, we have a point in here. Oh, I forgot about these. So, okay, so that changes things. We know that 5 equals a divided by 2 minus b plus k. No, what? Yeah, f of x is 5, exactly. So we know this is 5. Okay, so we know that, okay, so actually we can derive an equation out of that because we have this number here. I completely had missed that. So we can do that thing that we did before, and 5 minus k equals a divided 2 minus b. And so this means 2 minus b times 5 minus k equals a, right? So what do we have with these? So we have 5 times 2 minus 5b and then okay, wait, so we have this equation here. So this is a. So that's this point here. Equals a. So if I can just say so we have these, and we have that a plus b plus k equals any of these. Damn, that seems very simple. I just don't know, because it's asking me for a plus b plus k. So I would say I mean, let's just plot a few options. I want to see a divided by x minus b plus k, and I'll wrap it up here because I'm already at 30 minutes. Can I introduce here plus k, and I can add a slider. Yeah, okay, exactly. So, and I know, okay, so when I change k, you see what happens when I change k? K is literally, like if I put k2, like, okay, so essentially k might, like, b0. So that moves it like this. If b is 1, is an offset. If b is 0, k literally defines that, right? If a is 0, then we've got these. But otherwise, k is defining exactly these. So I'm sure k is 2, because k is defining these part here. As I said, that makes sense. K is 2 for sure. And then we know that this is at 1, and I think that is defined by b, because b is gonna essentially tell us how much we are. So if b is 1, then we're exactly here, right? B is 1. But then a cannot be 0. A then depends on, so b is 1. So this means b is 1, k is 2, so k plus b is 2 plus 1, 3. And I think the only possible solution, so this is 3. It would be basically, I want to complete this one, and I'm going to wrap it up. It just bothers me too much. And 2, 5. I think that's 2, 5, 3. That's 3. So that's 6. But okay. But I feel like I've cheated a bit. I would like to know how this was. How you can horizontal. Yeah. So that's what we said. That's good. While the vertical asymptote is 1. This means okay. Okay. So they have already assumed b is 1. The asymptote is 1. Because, yeah, of course, because 1, yeah, because this is where you cause the amount, like if x will be 1, then this is 0, right? So I think that's why. So I was right here, and then okay, then you can just derive that, of course. It's okay, it's all good. Then you can just derive that because you know that point. So we know 2 and 1 and a is 3. Okay. Wrapping it up here, guys. I don't know if what's happened now, if I just leave it here. I do want to complete this because I want to actually, but that's a lot of freaking questions. So I don't know if I can just stop here. What happens if I just refresh or anything? Does it make me start from scratch now? Oh no, okay. I guess it's okay. I guess we can just leave it here. I'm gonna take a break. See you guys tomorrow. I'll try to complete those a bit on the side of stream, and then do a few more on the next stream. I just want to complete that and then actually get to the actual tool. See you guys tomorrow.